Gary, Indiana. Once known for its steel mills and hard-working families, but in 2011, it became known for something far darker. A small, unremarkable house on Carolina Street would forever be etched into the pages of paranormal history. The Ammons family, like many before them, moved into what they thought was a new beginning, a fresh start. Little did they know, they were walking straight into a nightmare. This is the story of the demon house of Gary, Indiana, a tale so terrifying that it shook even the most hardened skeptics. LaToya Ammons, a single mother of 3, had no idea that her life would be turned upside down. From the moment she moved in with her children, strange things began happening. At first, it was little things, a creak in the night, a door left ajar. But soon, the strange occurrences would grow into something far more sinister. One night, as the family was sitting in the living room, the children started to cry out in fear. Shadows, long and dark, crept along the walls, moving independently of any light. LaToya's youngest son, only 7 years old, began to speak in a voice that was not his own. His eyes rolled back, and his body convulsed. What could have caused such a terrible change in him? Doctors were called in, but no medical explanation could be found. The family was desperate for answers. Social workers visited the home, but what they saw there only deepened the mystery. One worker reported seeing LaToya's son lifted into the air by an invisible force, his body twisting in unnatural ways. Soon the family began hearing footsteps in the basement, even though no one was down there. Objects flew across the room on their own. The terror was relentless. LaToya reached out to her church, begging for help. It was then that Father Michael Maginot, a local priest, was called to perform an exorcism, something he hadn't done before, but was prepared to face. When Father Maginot entered the house, he immediately felt a presence. The air was thick, heavy with something he couldn't explain. He began the exorcism, chanting prayers over LaToya and her children. The house seemed to fight back, shaking violently as the priest pressed on. The basement was the source of much of the terror. Father Maginot discovered strange, ritualistic objects buried in the dirt. Old coins, bones, and talismans, artifacts that seemed to belong to some dark, ancient ritual. He knew that the evil that haunted this family had deep roots. As the exorcism continued, LaToya's son once again began to levitate, his body rising from the bed as if being pulled by an invisible hand. The boy's voice, deep and guttural, spoke words in a language no one could understand. The room grew cold, and the priest fought harder to rid the family of this dark force. The police were called in, and even they witnessed events they couldn't explain. One officer reported that while standing in the basement, he saw wet footprints appear on the concrete floor, footprints that seemed to come from nowhere. Father Maginot continued his battle, performing not 1 but 3 exorcisms over the family. The demon, however, was resilient. After the 3rd exorcism, the house went quiet. The family felt a sense of peace for the first time in months, but the terror was far from over. Although the Ammons family left the house, the legend of the demon house grew. It was said that the evil force never truly left the building. Paranormal investigators, ghost hunters, and even skeptical researchers came to study the house, each of them leaving with stories that only deepened the mystery. To this day, the house stands empty, boarded up and abandoned. No one dares to live there. Some say the demon still lingers, waiting for its next victim. The story of the demon house of Gary, Indiana, serves as a chilling reminder that sometimes the most unassuming places can harbor the darkest secrets. What happened inside that house remains unexplained, but one thing is certain: the evil that lurked there left an indelible mark on everyone who stepped through its doors. The house on Carolina Street may look ordinary, but behind its walls, something unspeakable once thrived. Was it a haunting, a possession, or something far worse? The truth may never be known, but the terror it caused will never be forgotten. This was the Demon House of Gary, Indiana, a real-life horror. Subscribe for more chilling tales. Until the next time, stay safe.